Well, have you ever stood by the shore at night? Have you heard the water speak? The waves do not just crash, they whisper old stories, they carry secrets from the deep. For thousands of years, sailors have listened to this voice, they have felt the sea's sudden anger. In the heart of a rising storm, when the sky turns black and the waves grow into mountains of dark water, they call out a name born of fear and respect. It is a name that commands the very oceans themselves. The name is Poseidon. The world of these myths feels ancient, almost prehistoric. The line between humanity and nature was thin. This is a tale of raw, untamed power. To understand Poseidon, we must go back to the beginning. He was born to the great titans, Cronus and Rhea. Cronus, the king of the gods, lived in fear of a prophecy. It said that one of his children would overthrow him. He swallowed each as they were born. Poseidon was imprisoned within his own father, a silent beginning for a future sea king. The youngest Zeus was saved by his mother and raised in secret. Grown to power, Zeus forced Cronus to release his swallowed children. Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades led the rebellion. For 10 long years, the Titanomachy shook the cosmos. After victory, they cast lots. Zeus took the sky, Hades the underworld. Poseidon drew the middle lot. His prize was the sea, oceans, rivers, lakes. From that moment on, Poseidon was not just a god in the sea, he was the sea itself. His most iconic symbol, the trident, was an extension of his will. With a single strike, he could stir the calmest sea into a terrifying storm, summon waves to drown cities. He could shatter rocks and raise new islands. They called him Enochichthon, the earth shaker. When displeased, he struck the ground. Cities fell, mountains crumbled, great chasms opened. Poseidon was credited with the creation of the first horse. Some say he struck rock and a magnificent stallion sprang forth, its mane the white foam of a wave. He was linked to the wild spirit of horses, to war and chariot racing, sea, earthquakes, and horses, different faces of one elemental force. To worship Poseidon was to accept a world both generous gift and devastating force. Of all Poseidon's wrath, none is more famous than his persecution of Odysseus. A king, strategist, hero of Troy, his voyage home should have taken weeks. Instead, it took 10 years because the sea god was angry. Odysseus blinded Poseidon's son, Polyphemus, then, in pride, shouted his true name. Poseidon heard, and turned the full force of the sea against him. Storm after storm drove him off course, smashed his ships, drowned his men. He faced sirens, Scylla, and Charybdis, the wrath of nature itself. Odysseus was washed ashore again and again, a broken, solitary survivor. The Odyssey warns of hubris, and of Poseidon's memory and fury. Even the cleverest mortal is no match for an angry god. Poseidon's pride was immense. His anger was not for mortals alone. He clashed with the gods, most famously with Athena, for a city in Attica. The city was unnamed. Its people sought protection and prosperity. They agreed to a competition. Each would offer one gift. On the Acropolis, Poseidon struck the rock. A spring gushed forth, powerful, magical, but salty. Athena knelt and planted. An olive tree rose, food, oil for lamps and cooking, wood for building and fires. Her gifts were peace, wisdom, prosperity. The people chose Athena. The city was named Athens. Poseidon was furious. He flooded the plains of Attica. The waters receded, but the rivalry endured. Raw power of nature, steady wisdom of civilization. Perhaps the most haunting legend is Atlantis, told by Plato, an island gifted by Poseidon to Clito. He encircled it with rings of land and water, a beautiful defended home. Blessed with rich soil and precious metals, Atlantis flourished. Grand temples, bustling harbors, advanced technology, wealth and virtue in balance. Over generations their divine nature diluted. Greed, ambition, and pride took hold. The gods decreed Atlantis could not be saved. Poseidon would destroy what he had created. He summoned his full might. Earthquakes shook the land. Storms tore the sky. Great waves rose and crashed upon the island. In a single dreadful day and night, Atlantis, with its shining cities and corrupt people, was swallowed by the sea. It sank into the depths, leaving only a story, a warning about pride and the wrath of the gods. In the silent depths, he reigned from a magnificent palace. Shimmering gold, white coral, mother of pearl, lit by dancing sunbeams. Strange gardens grew, tended by the Nereids. Schools of living jewels, leviathans moving in peace. His queen was Amphitrite, riding a chariot pulled by hippocampi. Their son Triton sounded a twisted conch. sometimes calming the waves, sometimes stirring them to a frenzy. Proteus and Nereus held the secrets of the deep. Calm surface could give way to crushing abyss, reflecting the god's dual nature. From his throne he surveyed his domain, and unleashed power at will. Mortals skimmed the roof of an ancient empire, praying and sacrificing for safe passage. Through centuries Poseidon's image remained, a mature, powerful, bearded king. The trident defines him, riding a chariot, standing firm on the shore, fighting monsters. His image spread on coins, pottery, and frescoes. Artists painted his contest with Athena, sculpted his pursuit of Odysseus. Revived in the Renaissance, enthroned in Europe's fountains, writers and poets made him metaphor. Today he appears in books, movies, games. We map oceans and master steel, yet before the sea's grandeur we're small. His story captures our relationship with nature, enduring awe and respect. Poseidon remains the archetypal sea god, the template for ocean rulers. The stories of Poseidon are more than ancient tales of a temperamental god. They reflect humanity's long, complicated relationship with the sea, source of life and path to discovery, but a place of immense danger and sudden death, unpredictable, powerful, mysterious. His calm generosity explained good fishing and safe voyages. His sudden rage explained storms, tsunamis, and earthquakes. These legends taught humility and respect, rituals born of belief that the sea had a mind of its own. Today, we understand tides, storms, tectonic plates. The earth trembles for reasons deep in stone, and yet, when storms gather and the ground shudders, awe remains. In those moments, the world feels vast and powerful, and we feel very small. The myth of Poseidon gives us language for that feeling. He is the untamed power we can study and predict, but never truly conquer, the roar of the wave, the tremor of the earth. These myths live on, reminding us the world is a gift that demands respect. When the sea stirs and the earth trembles, the name still whispered by sailors and storms alike is Poseidon.